My first question would be about the outlook for Rusal. The first quarter profit more than tripled thanks to rising aluminum prices. Are you optimistic for the rest of the year?
Well, we are relatively bullish. We think that aluminium is a great commodity for developing countries like China, for example, and some other developing countries. You use a lot of aluminium in construction and infrastructure development, etc. That's exactly what's going on in this area. So the demand is growing, and the price level is quite healthy at the moment. So we can see some deficit of spot aluminium deliveries. The premiums are also at quite a high level, so we're relatively optimistic.
So you're not afraid about any kind of bubble for the aluminum prices?
No, not at all.
What's the main driver of growth? Is that demand from China?
Mostly. China consumes about 45% of overall aluminium produced all around the world. So this is clearly the largest market for our product, and you can see quite a stable growth, mostly driven by continuing urbanization of the Chinese economy.
Now, Rusal plans to replace all its $11.3 billion of debt by September. How much of this $11.3 billion have you refinanced so far?
Well, we just started the program of refinancing of our existing debt. We raised just above $1 billion in March and April through issue of ruble-nominated bonds in Russia. Now we're negotiating the jumbo PXF syndicated loan in the amount of between $4 and $5 billion to refinance our international debt portfolio. And the remaining debt, which is mostly provided by Russian banks, we also would like to extend or refinance this year.
And with that money, what kind of dividend payout do you foresee? What's the ratio you're foreseeing?
Well, it's a matter of dividend policy. We are currently putting together the management proposal to the shareholders, so most likely we'll discuss the new dividend policy in the near term. Currently, we are not allowed distribute net profit due to our existing agreement with our lenders. But post-refinancing, technically we'll be allowed to start paying dividends.
So, but you don't have an idea yet on how much exactly?
Not yet.
And when will you have an idea? When do you think that might be announced the dividend?
Well, I think we need to go through the refinancing process first. So as soon as it is complete, we can negotiate potential dividend payments.
So probably by September?
Maybe third quarter, but anyway, we'll inform all the markets when we're ready to do so.
Great. And what else do you plan to do? I mean, will this refinancing provide money for investment? May Rusal have some acquisitions projects?
Well, the refinancing is by definition used for replacement of your existing debt. But clearly we'll have much more flexible financial covenants, so we can use our own cash flow for development projects. We have two mega projects currently ongoing in Siberia called BIMA and TAISHED. The first project is got project finance from VEB, Russian State Development Bank, and it's quite on track. The second project is called TAISHED, and we're also pretty close to get project finance to restart construction of this facility.
What about acquisitions outside the aluminum business, in maybe other metals or outside Russia?
We are not considering any acquisitions at the moment.
Nothing outside Russia?
Not at the moment.
Did Mr. Deripaska buy some shares in the Glencore IPO?
Well, you should address this question to him.
Okay, no problem. Let's talk a little bit about, I mean, obviously this ongoing feud between Rusal and Norilsk Nickel. Rusal has rejected since October 3 offers for the 25% stake it owns in Norilsk Nickel. Do you foresee a solution in the near future? Why does Rusal want to hold on so much to this stake?
Well, it's a very good asset, as you know. Norilsk is one of the best metals and mining companies in the world. It has a fantastic asset base, a great potential for further growth, and we're pretty much happy with this investment. So we are basically believe that the situation with Norilsk is going in the right direction. You know, all the major shareholders recently mentioned that they would like to have more independent directors on board, which is a good development for the company.
So Rusal is going to hold on to this stake no matter what?
No, I mean, everything has a price, of course, but today this investment is quite undervalued and we have a long-term perspective. So we're a long-term investor in Norilsk.
What does Rusal think about Norilsk Nickel developing mine nickel in Indonesia, for example? Does Rusal think that Norilsk Nickel needs to expand more geographically?
Well, I think I am probably the wrong person to address this specific question. I'm not following Norilsk investment day by day, so...
No problem. Do you know if Rusal is seeking direct contracts to supply aluminum to Boeing?
Well, we have some discussions with consumers in the aircraft industry. So as soon as we reach any agreements, we'll announce.
Anything that might come up, for example, because we have the Paris Air Show coming up in June, like in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. Do you think that maybe there will be some announcements?
Frankly, I don't know.
No problem. And maybe one question about the Sukhoi Superjet program. Would that have a serious impact, in your opinion, on aluminum prices?
Well, manufacturing industries and aircraft industry in general is a good customer of aluminium industry, but it's not the main driver. So just one new model of aircraft cannot push the price a lot, but it gives you a good example how the industry is developing in Russia. And we are currently supplying about a quarter of our metal in Russia and former Soviet Union countries, so the demand is growing, which is quite good for the economy.
And maybe one last question on the challenges ahead. I mean, there is a challenge, for example, I saw in Ukraine, with a Ukrainian court that nationalized an aluminium smelter owned by Rusal, and you also have another big asset in Ukraine, which is Nikolaev Alumina. Are you afraid that Ukrainian authorities might also try to nationalize this other asset? Do you have any worries in Ukraine?
Well, I think as soon as Nikolaev refinery concerns, there is no risk. So we never had any, questions re-privatization of Nikolaev refinery. So 100% sure. In terms of the smelter you mentioned, there is a dispute, and we are still in courts. But this asset is not the best asset we have. So currently it does not produce any aluminium because the electricity tariffs in Ukraine is so high, so it's completely nonsense to produce primary aluminium in Ukraine. But anyway, we are going to continue discussion about this asset and also the new court hearings coming.
Actually, do you have concerns more generally, not only in Ukraine but also for you in Russia, about higher power and tariff cost and the impact it might have?
Yeah, electricity causes a big concern. So the whole industry facing quite a significant cost inflation during the last 12 months, and especially first quarter this year in Russia after the liberalization of electricity industry. You faced quite a significant sharp increase of electricity tariffs. But we still among the lowest cost producers. Hydropower is still the cheapest possible source of electric power in the world. So we continue to benefit from this position. But of course, it's an area of our concern, and we are very much interested in mitigating the risks of potential increase in electricity tariffs. So we are building our own capacity. For example, this project I mentioned, BIMA project, 50-50 joint venture with Rusal. It's a 3,000 megawatt hydropower plant. Considering some other options, negotiating long-term contracts with the utility companies, etc.
Great. And do you see any other challenges? What's the main challenge for Rusal in the coming month?
Well, I think the key for us is to continue control the cost, which is quite important because the price is going up, and if you can keep the cost at the same level, your margins and cash flow are getting much more robust. And refinancing of our debt, continuing reduction of leverage, and improving in liquidity for our shares traded in Hong Kong and Russia.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.